Hello and welcome to another episode 76 I believe. And so to start off I'm going to show this. I added some lamps here. These show the fuel status of our new smelter. When this one is on there is more than a stack of fuel per furnace. When this is on there is more than 5 stacks of fuel per furnace. There are 14 furnaces. So now this is where we fill the fuel. So now we don't have to actually go to the smelter to see the fuel status. Yeah, I have also made another farm, which is down here. Well, the farm isn't here. An Amethyst Farm. And to get to the Amethyst Farm, we go to the bottom of the world. And here it is. And it's a mess. Okay, so making an Amethyst Farm was pretty fun, but at the same time really frustrating and tedious. But it's done and it's working good, so working well. So it's we have a 2.5 hour clock here, which triggers it. Why? Oh. I tested it recently, and I apparently forgot to turn it back on. Oops. That's fine. So yeah, 2.5 hour clock. Because it takes a long time for Amethyst to grow, I went into a creative test world and I made a lot of experiments on the time to grow for these things. So I think on average it was something like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I added a little bit of time, so it's 225 to be exact. But yes, and this is just to check how many times the farm has been triggered. Since it's been on the off setting for the last few hours, that kinda prevented it from working, so yeah, but that's fine. We don't need any amethyst at the moment. So. And if we go down here, you can see from below. It's a pretty big geode, which is why I decided to make the farm here. And yeah, loads and loads of pistons. Too many pistons. I added a switch to our kelp farm here that sends all the harvested kelp directly to our kelp smelter, which is here. Over here. So it goes in here. I decided to upgrade the mud farm for 1.19. Before I just had a dispenser that would dispense water bottles on the dirt, but I wanted to make it a bit nicer. So now this resets it to make sure it's in the right state when we start farming. When we place a dirt block, this observer is triggered, which triggers this dropper once, sending a water bottle into this dispenser, which is then triggered using the water bottle on the dirt block. Then the hopper underneath this dispenser is unlocked and the item goes in here, which is then triggered twice to refill the water bottle and shoot it out. It takes it up and back there, so it's a loop. And that way we should never have to refill the water bottles manually. it might not work well in the first, so since mud blocks and such are not out yet, we'll have to probably do some modifications when it comes out, but yeah. And since this control room up here is basically all filled up, that dirt should not be there, filled up with various machines, it has one more output, but that's gonna be the Amethyst Farm. It's not connected. Since it triggers so rarely, I haven't really been bothered. Yes, since this doesn't have more outputs, I decided to make a second control room, and it is right here. And this is our new selector. It has 32 outputs controlled with 5 levers. So, with all of them at 0, the first one is selected. We go to the next one. The second is selected. That is the third. So it's like binary, right? That's the fourth, and so on and that. Right? And then we can control the machine that is currently selected with this toggle. That turns the machine on, which turns these lights off. So if we now switch to 0, this will turn off because the currently selected machine is not on. But if we go back, it lights up again because the currently selected machine is active. Now no machine is actually connected. So, but that's how it works. It's a bit of a mess. The second one is on from when I was testing, so let's see if we can't change that. So if we go to second, now they light up because it's on. Light up. And we can go back to 0. So basically what is happening here is that every lever controls a set of pistons. The last one controls this piston, which makes the signal go either that way or that way. Why didn't I just put the torches underneath? Whatever, it doesn't matter. And then the next, that switch, the fourth one, controls this and this, which divides the signal further. The middle switch controls this row of pistons. Then the next switch, which would be the second switch, controls this row of pistons. And the last one, which is also the first one, controls all these pistons. So I wanted it to be as like I wanted each block to be a different output, right? Which is why I had to move these some down, some up, like every second, because otherwise, of course, this piston would be where that block is. And if it was one down, then this piston would be powered, and the signal goes through that block. So we can't have that. Not that that would happen, but also, why is this piston on? This piston should not be on. Excuse me. What? I had this problem with the top row as well. That sometimes the certain pistons just would not work. the redstone is on a line right here. But sometimes some pistons just would not realize when this line up here was unpowered. So I had to add more repeaters, which solved it. So let's see if that will solve this problem as well. Oops, we don't need to go up. We need to remove this. And repeater. So it was just the first one. And so let's try that instead. So if we now power, unpower, that should maybe, hopefully, fix it. No, it did not. Why does that do that? Like, there is power up there, but that's far away. And there's, I don't know. Is it being, like, I mean, surely this is some quasi-connectivity stuff. I assume. What if we do that and try that? Because if it works now, then we know that this isn't the case. Indeed the case. So that's extended, subtracted. Yes, okay, that did work. How do you solve this? Okay, I managed to find a solution. Placing a note block on top of the piston makes it work. So if we now extend and retract, these should be retracted. Indeed. So that works. Okay, and yes, that's that. So when the signal gets through, it powers two pistons, one pointing forward, one pointing downwards. So the downwards one, that is which through which the button signal, which is this signal, will travel, and so it is turned into a short pulse over there, which, oh, by the way, all the cyan blocks are moving blocks, so this one will move, this piston will simply move the block back and forth every time it's triggered, and then that will connect this circuit, right? Which means you can get an output from these torches, or through the block, or whatever you want, but yes. And then the signal goes through this repeater, these torches, which takes it, when this block is extended, it goes through there, through a repeater and onto a redstone line that leads up to the labs. So that makes it that even if this is on and the machine is like active, the light will only be powered when this block is extended, and that block is only extended when this row is selected. I also added this lectern, which has it's basically like a fixed map of our base here, so all our farms and I labeled all the different areas. So for example here it says that we're going to the north wing, here it says we're going to the central wing, and over there it says to the south wing, and so on and so on. Okay, let's see what we get from this massive solid 12 by 12 tower of ore. That pile of ore we got this and this. Time ago we made this map which showed our entire world and the different kingdoms. that is where we are right now, our desert city. You can see the walls. It's a bit hard to see through all the glass, but it's there. And there are our other village. That's our most recent castle we made. That's Necropolis and the surrounding areas. So all of this was there. Then we had this massive desert, which would be our Egyptian-inspired kingdom. We had this massive jungle and more desert. That would be our Mesoamerican kingdom. And then over there we would have our Viking-inspired kingdom. But that's, as you can see, very far away. And unfortunately, I never actually mapped out this, which I didn't do on purpose because I didn't want to generate more land than was needed, right? Or to keep the file size small and make sure that we would have relatively close to new biomes and such. However, now that 1.18 is out, that means that that's not how our world looks like anymore. So that map is not correct, and yeah, that's a bit annoying because it took a lot of time to make, but I've been mapping out our world instead now properly, like with actual maps. So here's Narea, where we are right now, and as you can see, we have way closer to like snowy areas now. And up here we're going to have our Viking kingdom. Up here is going to be our Celtic kingdom, if we ever get to that. That is Castle Serene, our big Gothic castle. This whole area, like this-ish, is going to be our late medieval / Renaissance kingdom, Koitia. And then here, as you can see with the red flags, something like this is going to be our early and high medieval kingdom called Esquia. But you can see the desert is much smaller than it used to be. It used to go like up here and be like this, and the jungle used to be about this size, and now this is our jungle, which is okay because I don't think I'd want to make the Mesoamerican kingdom too big anyways. I want our main three to be our Egyptian, our early medieval, and our late medieval kingdoms. And then we'll have our Viking, Mesoamerican, and Celtic kingdoms, and maybe more if we ever get that far, but yes. So all our settlements and such will be marked on this here map, and we have some decently sized oceans here, and I think I might like widen the water here and here to make sure that like big boats could pass through. And then we can have like a Viking harbor town, an Egyptian harbor town, and a medieval harbor town and such. And we were also toying with the idea of making like a small piratey kingdom, and that could also be done in these oceans now that we have them closer than we had before, because before the ocean would be like off the map somewhere over there. And now we have relatively close to some decent sized oceans. So this is what our world actually looks like, and that won't change now that it's been mapped out. I made a goat farm. A seagrass farm. I made a home for some turtles. I made some areas to dry out mud into clay when 1.19 comes out. I decided to finally make the fortress we found, or one of them, into a wither farm. And yes, so what I've done is I've removed all the walls. I put the barriers up so I can't fall down, because that makes me feel better. And I filled in all the spaces in between with slabs. And I've dug out a lot of netherrack, like here, so that I can see. And here, I'm gonna drag out a huge bit over there. These were like connected. And now they're not, so I can see over there. And as you can see, I've dug out a lot of areas in here so that we can see. Those two blocks are gonna annoy me a lot, so to that. I have not done the area up here because I figured we have enough space as it is. Now I've spent like an hour here, so the mob cap is basically taken up already, which is why we're not getting many, but it should be fine. I just fly away and come back and things will spawn. I'm not going to spawn proof all the surrounding areas because we don't need that many skulls. I already gotten 2 while building this without even going after the skeletons that I didn't have to, so we should be fine. And there we go. 3 skulls. I managed to trigger a raid by mistake, and I think we're going to fight it because that's fun. Oops. Nope, that was not what I had in mind. Are you an Axeman? You are an Axeman. Oh my god, they're on the walls. This is easier said than done, I guess. Ah! Nope. Oh. Did sheep throw a potion on the sheep? I know you're gonna come here. There's no other staircase that is that close. Oh, you're stuck, are you? Well, sucks to you. No. Hey, be nice to the sheep. Oh no, it's an evoker. No. Go away. Oh, God. Leave me alone. Nope. These guys are so annoying. No. Did we? Okay. Oh, come on. What the heck is going on? risky, but is that another evoker? Did we get him this time? Come on! Pro aim. Stand still. Damn. Oh, hello. Oh, we did it. Hey, give me all your stuff. I am hero of the village. They don't appreciate it. Here are our spoils. We got 5 totems of undying, 4 saddles, and some random stuff. I made a little bartering station with the piglins here. So you put in gold ingots here, they get divided into these 2 dispensers, no, droppers, that shoot them against the trapdoors, and the piglin can pick them up. These are all named. And then the drops get picked up by hoppers under the paths. And we've gotten a few things. So now we have obsidian, gravel, and some other stuff, but those are the 2 main things we did this for, because these are not very fun things to farm. So yeah, we've also moved over to eating golden carrots now that we have a gold farm, so that's nice. Improved the gold farm. I made a secret gold farm. I made another carrot farm. Decided to tear out the old smelter to save on lag and replaced it with this much neater setup here. So this is all of these are being fueled by bamboo, which is not yet filled up. Okay, so all these double chests here are full. That's for the kelper, so they smelt the kelp that comes from the kelp farm here. And then this goes into all of these goes into double chests behind here that brings fuel to all of these. So I guess that one of these is not full. So when this is full, then it will start to fill up the rest. I have turned off the kelp smelter right now just to fill everything up with the bamboo, since I burned through a lot of bamboo recently, making a lot of fuel for our new smelter. And now we have a nice maintenance entrance here as well to our where the wiring of our control room and such. I also realized that we didn't add a secret door to our library here at our castle. Our not so finished castle, but one day. But we have a library here, and we did not add a secret door, so I thought I'd rectify that, and I have. So I extended these two out to make some room inside. Now I figured we have these levers used as for decorative purpose. What if we use one of those to open a secret door? So that's what we do. This one here. You do it once, nothing happens. next time, a door opens. So I did it so that you have to flick the lever twice. That way it will always be in this position, which is the position we want it in, right, for decorative. Otherwise it would be like that sometimes, and then it wouldn't look very nice, right? So, oops. So that opens it, and here we have a button that closes. Currently it doesn't lead to anything, and the wiring, if we have a look here, is we only have like this 3x3 to work with, so I had to be a bit creative with how it works. So we have two pistons holding out a piston that is holding the upper block. The lower block just goes straight down with the piston, so that's simple. But here, the signal from the lever controls this piston, and that has an observer on it. So when it's in the up position, this observer will trigger this repeater, which triggers that piston, which will move this block, this observer back and forth, which triggers this one, which will move this block up or down, which will either power or unpower our door here, which is simply powered by these redstone lines. First this redstone line on top, and then we have a 2-tick delay here to this, which powers the bottom piston, the one that goes sideways, and then we have a 4-tick delay until the other side here is powered, and that makes it so that the top pistons will open first but close last, and the bottom piston is triggered by this the line here over this redstone, not redstone over the observer, I mean, which is an observer chain inside the wall here, which triggers this redstone and will cause this piston to move the bookshelf up or down. The other side, we have a button here which has redstone, which goes into an observer chain up here that goes into this block, which extends the signal, and then it powers this piston from before that moves the observer back and forth to move that. And that is how it works. So it's very compact. I had to be a little bit creative to get it to work properly, but we got there. Oh, and I finished the wall.